Yo, check it. It's Wednesday, my dudes, and you know we got to do it right. Redcat Live's coming at you once again. I'm here with my man, Shane McCula, Mr. Drift RC himself, Tandem Drift owner, Tandem Drift sideshow slugging, sideways entry, reverse entry, sideways sliding on a drift car like, woo, door banger. What up, dog? How you doing?
Nothing much.
I had a little too much caffeine today.
Fair enough.
So I do apologize, but I don't apologize, but I apologize. What's going on, guys, man? Thank you guys so much for coming on back for yet another installment of Redcat Live. If this is your first time on the show, Redcat Live is a show that we happen to have every single week, unless I'm sick and or I ate too much the day before and I can't get out of bed. But generally speaking, we do a show where we just kind of talk about Redcat products, whether it's a new launch, whether it's an older launch, whether it's upgraded parts, to help answer questions as well. Sometimes you just see me taking up space, and sometimes I bring folks like Shane in, who was our lead designer on the RDS, right? Mm-hmm. The rear-wheel drive drift car. So today we're going to kind of change it up a little bit. We are going to go over a lot of events that are happening potentially in your neck of the woods. We'll go over all of those here in a bit, but to kick it off, we're going to talk about some pretty basic things that we've been seeing folks kind of asking questions of, and or having problems when like building their RDS kit in general, right? So you can have some generalized questions as well. We'll try to answer everyone's questions as we go, but we do appreciate you guys swinging on by. So Shane, man, what's good with you, man? How you doing this week?
Pretty good. Pretty solid.
I feel kind of weird. I'm not wearing a hat, and I feel like naked for some reason. Like, if I walk away and get my hat, like, could you keep the guys entertained for like, come on, just what do I do with my hands? Just put them down. Let's say what's up to a couple folks that are jumping on in the chat. So first and foremost, RC Patina guy, what's going on, good sir? Thank you for stopping by. Xavier's RC Adventures, what's going on? Yoshi Rivera, how you doing, big dog? Man, hopefully you're doing well out there. Felix Delgadillo, what up, big dog? How you doing, man? I like it. What's up, everybody? OG Customs in the house. I love it. JD's RC's here as well. HVAC chilling. I know you're chilling because HVAC's kicking, so I appreciate that. Roads at RC, what's going on, man? He said that's an epic intro. I try. I don't always nail it, though. Sometimes I fumble completely. So at least the good thing is I get to try every single week. You know, there's some slight job stability in doing so. Boss says, hey, you know what? Like, I can't fire you if at least you're trying, and if you're a goofball, at least you're doing something right. So, you know, we'll make it happen, Captain. Let's see here. Jason Mineo, what's going on? He wants to know if we happen to have any Lowriders coming out. Sure. David M. from Texas, what's going on, good sir? Yoshi, what up? Hi, it's my first time sub Taco Slim. You know what, dude? I have not had a taco in like 2 weeks, and I'm kind of going through withdrawals, but I'm holding it strong, man. Trying to stay on that, on that keto diet. Keto diet, So change it up. No tacos, but taquitos. Derek Riffle, what up, man? What's good? Clay Keats, Mr. King of the Streets himself. What's good, fam? How you doing? Aaron Mathiason's checking in from Taiwan, man. Aaron just is everywhere. He's in Wales. Yeah. He's in Taiwan this week.
He's going to be in China in like 2 weeks.
No way, man. He kind of reminds me of like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? You don't know anything about that, do you? Oh, my gosh. You're going to have to check that out, man. It's like a great show I grew up watching on KQED. So, it's very educational. So, Matthew Lugo, what's going on, man? SC17, man, your channel is kind of risque. I appreciate that. Jay Babula, what's up with you? Joe, what's going on, good sir? Xavier's RC Adventures. Any news on the 2023 Autism Awareness Crawl event? Yes, we'll definitely go into detail on that event because it is part of the list of events that we are either supporting and or participating in and or have just some kind of claim and stake and just the respect for, an event, so to speak, as well. So we'll go over some of those here in a little bit. Perry Zilla, what up? Jimmy Winfrey, what's good, homie? How you doing? Phoenix RC Crawlers, man. It is hot in Phoenix, man.
Yeah, it's hot in this room.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I've been working out, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of radiate a little bit extra heat these days, you know, because I'm on fires like fuego, you know. Dustin Cooley, man, what up, man? Oh, man, I'm a fool today, guys, so I appreciate you guys. We got someone from Chicago, Chi-Town. What up, man?
Skip over that one. All right.
All right. So, guys, first and foremost, we really have seen quite a bit of questions come out with the RDS drift car. And, of course, I decided, you know, like it might be a great idea to approach Shane and take him away from his busy schedule to help kind of come in, talk about some cool things, the secret sauce that we mentioned in the description of this video, on some potential stuff that might be coming out in the near future, as well as kind of tackle some of the most common asked questions or concerns that people have while building their kit and or setting alignment. So, of course, we got this camera right here. We're going to use another camera right here to get some close-ups to help point out some of these things that Shane's going to kind of educate us on. So, if you are new to the RC drift scene, this is definitely going to be a place you're going to want to be in. And if you're like myself that likes to throw, you know, lowrider bodies on drift cars because Shane said it's cool, then yeah, you don't want to miss out either because it's kind of cool. In fact, to be fair, I saw a video that you guys shared, and I kind of wish I could get it so I could share it with the guys. You guys had a caddy body on a drift car on your track, right? And
someone took a Jevries Cadillac, I don't know the year, but he cut like an inch and a half out of it and put it back together. And then
really, I thought that it was all like plug and play. Nope. Like it's wow. So guys, check out what is it? Tandem RC, is it underscore RC or?
It's Tandem RC Drift.
Tandem RC Drift, no underscores.
No underscores.
Okay, on Instagram. Yep. Great video if you guys want to check it out. A lot of great content. They get a lot of views, and they are, in our opinion, the premier drift track here in Arizona, which is why we like keeping him around, because he allows us to play in his backyard. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. Mario Madrid from Richmond, California. The Rich, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Any word on Redcat International Harvester 110 pickup truck? That would be kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. They're kind of ugly, though.
I mean, technically, the Scout's a pickup truck.
Is it really? Well, yeah, it kind of is.
You can make a little thing.
So, like, would a Bronco be considered a pickup truck then?
That's not a question for me. I'm going to annoy one of the other engineers if I say yes.
Oh, man. Any plans on coming in with the mini truck? Josh Wither here wants to know. You know, there's a lot of things that we're working on, a lot of wish list items that we love to do. Of course, doing one would be amazing to do. Nothing in the works currently, but you just never know what the next 6 months, next year could potentially bring. So stay tuned. You never know what could happen. Jimmy Winfrey, if you've been thinking about a drift car, I'm telling you, the RDS car is where you want to be. At the price point for the drift car, the RDS drift car, I believe it's $399 for the ready to run and $249, if I'm not mistaken, for the kit. Yep. Kit obviously does not come with any electronics. The caveat to buying the kit, in my opinion, is you get to build it your way, right? You get to choose your electronics. You probably are going to spend a little bit more money than the RTR, of course, because you're going to want to put a better gyro in it, you know, a better servo in it, a better power plant in it, because, you know, you're going to send it. You're going to go, you know, all the way out. So, man, first, let's get into it. I know you brought a couple samples of an RDS in here, a stock version, and one with some secret sauce that we'll share with you guys in a bit. But talking about the kit itself and some of the questions that we've seen very common, Shane, what is something, I guess, that has stood out to you the most that we should kind of revise or at least informatively let the folks know about the car?
So there's a couple things. So, like, on the Redcat page itself, this one doesn't have any springs on it, so don't mind that the car is sitting on the ground. We've seen a couple people ask questions on the page, and like some of the videos on the page, the car's handling a little weird. And after talking to the guys, there's some stuff that's just not built correctly due to the manual. So we updated the manual, and the manual online now has all this new information. But something like
yeah. See, you got to say cameraman.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
You got to give me a shout out, man.
Yeah.
See. Okay, here we go. Check it
I don't
out.
know. Can you see that? Okay. So on the knuckle, the taller part here goes towards the top. I've seen a couple people flip this and actually have this on the other side. The car will not drive good if you do that. So where the taller piece here has to be on top, and the shorter boss has to be on the bottom. If you don't do it like that, it does some really weird stuff. So that's the thing.
So that'll obviously change the toe of the vehicle, I'm assuming, or?
It changes a lot. It messes with your bump steer because if you can see this plastic boss that comes off, when you flip it upside down, that gets raised up, I think like 2 or 3 millimeters. So the bump steer is way off. And it kind of messes with how the kingpin inclination is set up on the knuckle, because then it's backwards. So then you have positive caster kind of through the whole range, and it just drives really weird.
And just so you know, I actually did this myself when I built mine, and I brought it to you, and I was like, I don't know what I did wrong. So, so guys, keep an eye on that when you're putting the car and assembling it. Obviously, if you buy the ready-to-run version, you're not going to have to worry about that. But if you are building and you're building the kit, you're going to want to keep an eye on the placement of these, right? So that'll be the right front and then the left front as an example. There it is as well. Oops, let's see, let's twist towards the light. There we go. You guys can see how it's longer on top and it's actually angled back, not forward, right? So are they, is there a right and a left?
There's a right and a left.
Okay, there is a right and a left.
Specific.
Okay, so that's problem number one that we seen a lot of folks have when building the kit. Pretty common, easy thing to fix and adjust. So when you are building it, keep an eye on those things. Make sure that you. I'm sorry, I saw Spuds just and laugh my butt off. Okay, so keep an eye on that when you guys are building the car, right? You want to make sure that you have the correct ones on either side. I do know that there isn't a identification mark on them, right, from left to right.
Yeah.
The owner's manual, the revised owner's manual is available, like you mentioned, on our website. So if you buy the kit and you have the owner's manual, it's going to get you pretty far. I mean, it got me to complete the car. But if you want the most updated, revised version of it, you're going to want to go to our website at redcatracing.com to get the actual revised version of the owner's manual. And of course, if you use your iPad while you're building or whatnot, it's kind of nicer than having that paper, booklet, right, when you're building your vehicle. So that's the key thing that we've noticed. Anything else that you've noticed that folks unfortunately kind of get wrong the first time when building the kit?
So I don't know what the best way to show these toe blocks is.
Oh, actually, if you hold it right there, I can definitely show that.
So on the car, you'll notice it comes with like a ton of toe blocks. I think it's like 128 or something like that. It's a large number of toe blocks. That's so. Let's see, I should have brought something to point.
There you go.
So in here, this. I don't know what the name for it. This block basically is setting your toe. So you don't have to angle the arm like on some other cars. And then you can do your anti-squat through here. So in order to pitch the arm like up or down, you can use just the block itself. And that's why there's some blocks with corners. And then...
So like that one looks like it has an upside down 7 on it.
Yeah, so that one has a dot on the side. And then it's going in currently. And then on the back of this, it'll have a dotted 7, but on the outside. So that gives you, I think, 1.3 degrees of toe or something like that. And those are all on the instruction manual as well.
Right, and these are called toe blocks.
Yes.
Right.
The actual block's called the toe block. This is called a pill.
Okay, and of course, inside the actual builder's kit as well as the RTR, there's a tree that we give you with multiple variations of toe blocks.
Yeah.
And each one's going to change the amount of toe that the rear and or front suspension has.
Yeah, and you can rotate these in all 4 directions. So if you like the ones that come on corners, it's from the center out. Is that like the number is basically a millimeter dimension from the center.
Right.
So the 0.7 is 0.7 millimeters from the center of that block. So if you get one with a corner, then you can go like 1 millimeter from the center in the corner. So then it'll actually rotate the arm downwards in the front and up in the rear. So when you get on power, the car is more likely to squat, which it can increase speed.
Right, and of course the correct term would be the toe block inserts. Right?
Or inserts, yes.
Inserts. And of course, please note there are different pills for the upper front arms as well.
Yeah, so the...
Where are they at? Oh, right here? Oops, let me back out a little
Go
bit.
to the right a little bit.
There we go.
Okay. This is the first time using this camera, so hold on. So the upper arm inserts are actually different from the bottom. On the upper arm one, the flange that it actually installs into is a lot thicker than the flange that goes on the bottom ones. So you'll get a lot less of these in the kit. There's still a lot because that allows you to basically move the arm in kind of a circular motion. But yeah, they're totally different. So just be careful of that. If you try to put one of these in like a lower, it's not going to work. And it's not going to be a good time.
Love it, love it. All right. And for those of you guys that kind of have no idea what toe even is, we did have an episode that we had previously aired where we actually went a little bit more in depth on what camber is and what toe is, right? The best way that I can describe to you what toe is if you are standing up and you look down. I can't do it because my stomach's too big, so I can't see my feet. But if I were maybe another 20 pounds lighter, I could see my feet, and you would see the top of your feet. And toe, in essence, is literally where your toes are pointing, right? So if you have positive or negative toe, you can change this to that, right? That is what we're talking about, is changing the toe adjustment. Now, if I were to show you on the car itself from a top view,
Just see the front, yeah.
you can see that the car itself has a little bit of, would that be considered positive toe?
Well, I call it toe out. I
Toe
believe
out?
it's,
Yeah, toe out and
I don't know
toe
if
in,
it's positive,
right?
negative, but yeah.
So it has a little bit of toe out, meaning that the wheels themselves are facing outward just slightly. What is the benefit on the RDS and just drift cars, RC cars in general, to have, toe out?
It helps with a little bit of initial turning, so you can kind of start sliding quicker. So that's kind of the main thing.
So that is, in essence, your toe. To simplify what camber is the angle of your front tires and whether they're pointing from the top of the tire pointing in or pointed out. Obviously, in that episode we talked a little bit more in depth of how much a camber adjustment can change the vehicle's speed, overall speed, when in a drift. So depending if your car is going a little bit faster, you can take some add some camber to lose a little bit of traction, so you're not as fast as you were.
Yep.
So you can kind of gauge and be with your competitor, right?
In the rear, at least.
In the rear, at least, exactly. When you're talking about changing camber in the front, that really changes the way the car handles all in all, right? Every adjustment that you make, be it toe, be it camber, is going to have a negative and positive reaction. So keep that in mind. On our page, we do have a spec sheet. I believe that you have a stock spec sheet, as well as some other ones loaded in there.
Yeah, so there's the stock, like ready to run what we ship with initially, and then I believe it's above it, but it might be below it. There's an updated RTR setup sheet. That's the one that this car's close. This one's been modified a little bit. But it'll be better for, like, if you're going to a track, that's the one you want to use, at least initially. Because the Ackerman's a lot more parallel, so you'll be a lot faster on the track. You don't necessarily want it for outside, but it just kind of depends on your surface.
Right. So thankfully, and we plan on adding even more sheets as we get more information from other well-known drivers, around the world that are using the car in an actual competitive fashion. Even if you want even a more layman's terms approach to these adjustments, I'm telling you, Troy at Roadside RC, right? Roadside RC? I always mess that one up.
Yeah.
He has a great video series where he actually goes into really high in-depth understanding, gives you a really high-depth understanding of what these changes are going to do and some of the setups that he's using and that are working for him. The way you drive is going to require you to make adjustments to your driving style, right? Some people can adapt and learn. Like, let's say if you have a bicycle, you're going to learn to ride the bicycle one way or another. Now, the way you ride a road bike compared to how you're going to ride a mountain bike, you're going to have a completely different feel in the way the bike handles to you being on it. Same thing, in my opinion, with the adjustments that you make on the car. You're going to make adjustments as you grow with it and learn how these adjustments change the way the car handles for you to find the right setup that works for you ultimately at the end of the day. Hey, that's me. So that's two key things that we've seen people have pretty repetitive questions on the RDS page. We do have a page on Facebook, the RDS Redcat RDS drift car group, and there's a lot of folks already out there that are showing what they're doing and how they're modifying the car, be it whether it's to a scale fashion or just a drivability fashion, right? There's guys in there that are winning competitions that are sharing their tips and tricks that are working for them very well. So we appreciate that library kind of growing. And if you want to be a part of that conversation, definitely head on over there and hit the request button. Make sure you answer the community guideline questions, and we get you guys in and get you guys well informed. So we touched base on two key things. Is there a third thing that has come up frequently that we should be addressing with the folks?
I guess kind of. So this car has a little modification to where it doesn't have any bump steer. On like asphalt and stuff like that, bump steer is not going to matter. And personally, I tune with bump steer, but some people really don't like it. So if you don't, there's a couple ways in the box to change it. I don't know if you want to get a camera.
Sure. Let me swap here.
So you'll notice if you got the RDS kit or the ready to run, I believe the spacer's included. You got to get like E in there.
Let me get in there. Hold on. There we go.
It's kind of hard to see. Okay, so the car will come with two of these little spacers that just happen to fit perfectly under the carbon steering rack.
So we're talking right in here.
Yeah. So if you put two of those and then a 2mm, I don't know if I can show this very easily, a 2mm stud under the outer, I guess it's technically the inner ball stud, you don't have any bump steer at all.
Right. So 2mm ball stud here, where the steering arm attaches to the carbon fiber plate.
Yep.
And then you change the spacer that's underneath the same carbon fiber plate.
Yeah, so in the kit it says to just put one of them in. If you like to tune with bump steer like I do, you just put one of those in. If you don't want bump steer, you just put two of those in and then a single spacer on the outside. And they're all 2 mil, so it works fairly easily. And this car, if you just want to show over the top.
Show the top?
Yeah. So there's no bump steer in this.
Nice. So Andrew Gonzalez wants to know, what's bump steer?
So bump steer is basically as, like, say you're at full lock, kind of like this is now. If the car were to lift, it depends on how it's set up, but if the car were to lift, either the outer tire would kind of bump out or bump in. So the way I tune with bump steer is usually I'll have it bump out. So when the car lifts, you're actually starting to drag the chase wheel, which kind of brings you out of the corner faster.
Right. Michael Vandenbroder says when your angle changes as your ride height changes.
That works as well.
Right.
Yeah.
More kind of a simplified term. So yeah, guys. So those are kind of the common things that we've seen folks have questions with the RDS. And if you want to elevate your game to be able to kind of hang with the big boys when you go to a drift track, those are the smallest little things that if you familiarize yourself with while building your car and or tuning it, it'll definitely get you guys to the next level that you guys want to be at. I noticed there was a guy that mentioned something on the page that their geometry of the suspension was way off in the front, like it was like super down low. And I think what they found was that the shock mount plate was upside down. Did you see that one?
I didn't.
Okay.
That's a problem.
It got
I don't
removed.
think you could do that.
It got removed. Yeah, so this was upside down. So the holes obviously were completely
higher.
changed. Exactly. So if you are a fan of RC drifting and you own a Redcat RDS, you definitely want to check out some of our other videos that we have pertaining to the RDS itself. Definitely reach out, ask questions, reach out to our support team as well. Shane is a really big resource inside of the group itself. So if you're a member of the group, he can help answer some of the questions that get asked pretty frequently on there as well. But you also had something else you wanted to mention, right?
So we've seen a couple people replacing the shocks like immediately. Not to like say they're amazing, but the shocks are pretty good out of the box. So I would try to at least leave the stock shocks on for a month before you decide to change them. These shocks are made a little longer than most of the ones from other manufacturers. Usually you see like a 55 millimeter and a 60 millimeter. These are a little bit longer than that. Just for how the car drives, it shifts its weight a little bit more than some of the other chassis due to where the motor is. So I would definitely try the stock shocks before you change anything. That's probably one of the bigger things I've seen that's like, I wouldn't do that right away.
Right. I definitely agree. Aaron mentioned something about your gyro setting. Making sure
yeah. So initially when we came out the Ready to Run, the factory had set it for red mode, which is AVCS. AVCS is basically while you're driving, you kind of tell the car with the radio what angle you want the car at. And it's very weird for someone who's never done RC drifting, like Oscar.
I have no time with that.
And so if you double tap the endpoint button, it's either double tap or hold. I think it's double tap. The endpoint button, it'll switch to green. Green is your counter steering like you would expect to counter steer in a real drift car. So if you have the Ready to Run and it's in red mode, you want to switch to green and it'll be way better, at least initially.
Nice. So very key ingredient in that, guys. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that if you buy the Ready to Run. If you are in the process of wanting to pick one up, the links to the actual Ready to Run as well as the kit are in the description of this video. So make sure you guys check it out afterwards and add it to your wish list and or buy it with the firm on our website. Buy it with confidence. It ships, I think, at no charge within the continental U.S. When you buy anything on our website over $50. So keep that in mind, guys. I brought
the special stuff.
So
I can't talk about.
I've filmed this car a few times. Does this car have an official name?
It's a Redcat RDS that happens to be red with a livery that looks cool.
I like it.
That's a name.
I like it. If you guys have seen some of the clips, he actually uses this car and he does a bolt entry where he hangs the front wheel and he's like grinding the chassis around a turn. It's really wicked. So check that out, guys, if you guys haven't seen some of those videos. But so we talked about the most basic fundamentals when it comes to the drift car, the RDS specifically drift car. Some of the changes that we recommend you guys do if you guys are buying one and or building it in a kit format to kind of help kind of ease things a little bit. And if there's more questions that come up more frequently, this is an episode, a chapter that we're going to kind of come back to. My plan is to kind of bring in an RDS show at least once a month, where all we do is just talk about RDS, right? We know the lowrider scene is really big. It's booming. We're 30,000 strong on our Facebook group, and it's insane the amount of people that are in it with the super amounts of creativity that they bring to the table. But we also want to make sure that we're giving love to the RDS, the crawler scene, and the basher. So moving forward, I'm going to be working on a couple chapters ahead of this episode to see if I can kind of incorporate doing maybe an off-road episode, then followed by a lowrider episode, then followed by an RDS specific episode. But we don't mind answering questions on all of the different platforms that you guys have within the Redcat umbrella as well. So Shane, I know that I've been talking your ear off in here, and there's the secret sauce that I need you to tell me about, because I have not been allowed into engineering for some time. What's going on, man? What you got in the works here?
So a lot of people have been asking for like machined aluminum parts for the RDS, and we've been working on them. We've gone through, I think, like 6 or so samples of just changing kind of how the machining process was working out. And this is not the final one. We don't have the final one yet. But we have a lot of stuff done. So, I don't know if that,
do I need to bring
I
the
don't know
camera
if that
out?
works, yeah.
All right.
So, mind you, this is my personal car, which I use for testing a lot of stuff. Some of this is just stuff I've done because it looks cool. That's really it. Some of it's just because it looks cool.
Not necessarily something that we're going to offer, but we're going to go over some of the things that we're going to specifically talk about are things that could potentially be coming to our website, hopefully within the next couple months, right? Yep. So this is kind of a sneak peek at some things that a lot of folks have been asking for, and Shane's been enjoying playing with these. So, Shane, I'm gonna hold the camera up, bro. You point out some of the things and talk about some of those cool things that you got in the works. So where do you want to start?
All right, so the biggest thing are the front end ones. They probably look the coolest. So if you look down here at the lower arm, so it says Redcat on it. It's very fancy. Hold on, let me see if you can. Don't look at that part.
Right.
So you can see I mess with the shock positions. So I'm going to set this back down. So now the current shock position it's on is the farthest inside on the current plastic lower control arm, and then you have one more in. So if you want to make it a lot softer, you can bring it in more, or if you need more angle, this car gets like full 90 anyway, pretty much. If you want more than that, you can by moving the shock in a little bit and then going with a little bit of stiffer spring.
So yeah, so the first thing I'm noticing is you have a little bit more clearance where the wheel is and where the shock is mounted, right? Because one of the issues that I had with my wheel setup, because I like to run these weird abstract bodies, was that I had to run a weird offset wheel, and I kept touching the shock, the bottom of the shock mount.
Yep, and we've seen a couple guys like Dremel their plastic arms, which it works, but it doesn't look super nice. So by offering a machined aluminum one, it looks super nice. And if you want one of the outer positions, it's just changing the motion ratio. So you could just go to a stiffer spring and it'll act the same. But most people are moving it in anyway, and it's working really well. So we still offer that position and then an even softer position. And then there's the upper arms, which technically is the same geometry as the stock ones. These are the same geometry as the stock ones. They just look really cool, which is very important. These are going to look a little different than the final one, just due to there's some machining things we want to change. But yeah, that's pretty much how they're going to look. All black and then machined edges, little Redcat logo. It's very minimal, but it looks really clean.
Dude, I love it, man. It's clean and simple, So obviously, guys, those bad boys are in the works right now. The lower control arms, upper control arms. I love the movement of the shock placement. I think that's going to do a lot for folks. That's in the front end. That is awesome, bro. I know that there's guys asking about the deck, which is...
I guess we can talk about that really quick.
Yeah.
So
address your own made goodies there.
So I have the file, obviously, for the lower deck, and I really like titanium. So this deck's full titanium, and it's cut out as much as possible for flex. You really don't want this much flex. It's not the greatest, but it looks really cool, which is also very important. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We probably won't offer this just due to I can bend this with my finger, and it's not super durable. But there's a bunch of people, like I believe Fast Factory is offering a kit that looks pretty close to this. Grandstand Industries is going to be offering a carbon kit that's pretty close to this as well. The titanium's a little heavier, but I don't care because it looks cool.
Yeah, but so. I think I like the weight, as far as the location of it, right? It's at the most lower portion of the chassis itself. Well, I mean, for me, low center of gravity is best, but I've learned to really love a higher center of gravity on drift cars, and you got me really stuck on wanting to make my car just lean and tilt, when it's in a slide. So I take back my original statement. I personally love the naked look of that chassis. Be it titanium or be it aluminum or be it carbon fiber, I dig it. I had rock one. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the original. I like the original one because specifically the fact that you can hide your wiring. It has that nice channel built into it.
Yeah, this one's just kind of zip tied up top. My wiring's never been great, but
it gets the job done.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
There's still kind of a lot. So the next biggest thing is...
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
So...
What am I pointing?
Just where my finger is. So you'll notice this is in the stock spur. This is a top line, I think 80... I think it's like a 92. It's large. But it's not stock, and usually you can't do that. So we have I should have really taken this off, but... we have a lightweight spur gear holder that'll accept basically all the other spur gears on the market now, and it looks really cool, which is also very important. But this will be coming as well. This is pretty much finalized, I think. We just have to wait for the arms and stuff to be ready.
And this will just pretty much allow you to run a different variety of spur gears. Yeah,
so you can run... most of the other drift spur gears on the market are kind of this pattern. So there's the stock pattern, so you can still run the stock one and get the cool lightweight spur gear holder, and it looks cool. But then you can also run other spurs if you don't like the, I believe, 88 that comes with it out of the box. Some people like to go a little lower, some like higher. It just depends.
Nice. I love that, man. That's a nice, great touch there.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can actually show you this very well. So the other thing, so it's just
we can show that. Okay.
There's a bunch of zip ties and bad wiring, just so you guys know. So we have a machined aluminum gearbox as well that's coming out. Yeah, that works. Okay.
Looks like a naked transmission.
Yeah, pretty much. I took the plastic one and then got rid of everything that doesn't hold something important. So it's as light as you're gonna get on the transmission.
CLSD?
So currently it doesn't have a CLSD in it, and this sample does not accept the CLSD. We're changing that. So when this comes out, it will accept the Rhino Racing CLSD. That's really common for a lot of people. But it also will come with the spacer so you can use the regular Redcat diff. So if you want, like some of the other manufacturers have a ball diff, I'm not personally a fan of ball diffs. It's a lot of maintenance. I don't like doing maintenance. But it'll fit the other manufacturers' ball diffs as well. So
that's awesome.
And it looks cool.
That's awesome. Is that the last of the bits to share with us today?
That's pretty much it. And then you're not really going to be able to see it. So if I kind of move these out of the way. So depending on how big your motor is, right, the mounting hole for the top of the plastic is gone. So if you want to go to a smaller pinion, once you have the spur gear changed out, there's a lot more room here to get the motor lower. So if you want to go to like a 17 or 18 to something really small like that, you can actually move the motor down enough to where it'll work.
Very cool.
Now this isn't something you want to drive outside if you're running an open trans like this. It's not the best idea. You can get rocks in there. But if you're on a track that's groomed, you're never going to have a problem with dust or anything kind of messing it up.
So it's definitely an indoor mod.
Yeah, it's kind of a like competition almost only kind of spec.
Dude, that is
Unless
awesome.
you're crazy, because I've been driving this for...
Bro, you have been...
I drive this all the time.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
No wonder they haven't let me in to see you guys lately.
They're like, I've been asking about showing these on the show for a little while, and it's... There's just, every time we get a new sample, it's just like, I want to change a couple more things, because I would like it to be perfect.
But as perfect as can be.
Yeah, perfect as it can be. Bearing with like time constraints and stuff like that. And it's just every time is like, we got to change something else. So now we're at the point where it's like, we should be good. But it depends. Right.
So at least we're at a point now where powers that be feel comfortable with us sharing some of these things to kind of keep you guys going and know that we're not giving up on the RDS. Not that we ever would, but that we're still working on things to bring to you guys more of a performance edge from Redcat directly. We really hope to see the aftermarket take off as well and get some support from those that are making parts for various other brands as well. But in the meantime, Shane here has been staying obviously very busy in creating some really cool things, and the samples are here and revised enough that we feel comfortable sharing some of these with you. And again, the secret sauce of the RDS drift car and some of the things that we're going to bring out in the future. You guys now know some of the most common questions that we face when we're on the social media pages with the RDS specifically. You guys know that that we're still working on some things as well in the long run for this product, and it's honestly probably one of our favorite products amongst the folks here in the shop. Right?
It's definitely mine.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, there's got to be at least a dozen or more employees here that own drift cars. I own one. I need to just get time to head down there to the track and get some more track time. I'm lagging lately, but it really is a fun hobby to be in. I enjoy it because there's a lot of scale aspects to it, which is something I really enjoy being a part of. Anything scale RC, I'm a geek for, so definitely keep an eye on it. RDS drift car, whether you want a kit or you want a RTR, they're available. There's a lot of content out there on the drift car, from scale science to roadside RC to name a few. Come on, drop some with me. My mind's drawing blanks
RC
here.
Review has a couple videos.
RC Review.
Rolling Garage RC, which is another shop. They have their own channel. They have a video on it. All I can remember.
Right. And obviously...
K-pop RC.
K-pop. I liked his video a lot, actually. And you guys, so keep in mind, we're still going to be creating some cool things. Shane's obviously eats, sleeps, breathes drift RC. It's what his main background is in, not just in the RC world, but also the one-to-one world. He has a car that he built that he drifts and has a good time with as well. So he is in this drift atmosphere nonstop. So I appreciate that we have someone as knowledgeable as him that brings so much of this coolness to the table and is also out there listening to what everyone else is doing to try and offer options in the future that can even elevate higher where the RDS is going to go. So I appreciate you, Shane, man. Thank you so much for spending time with us and covering some of those details. Is there anything else that you want to share RDS related before I take over and talk about events?
Let's see. Oh, we're also coming out with Knuckles. I don't have them on this car because I changed them a lot. But yeah, so there's going to be Knuckles as well. They're the same fancy black with machined aluminum. So, when you're building your kit, take the turnbuckles on and off a couple times. It'll be a lot easier once you undo the turnbuckles a couple times. It'll get way easier. Out of the box with a ready to run, you're going to want to. It's going to be a little tight. Right. Doing the turnbuckles. Once you do it like 3 or 4 times, it'll be fine for the rest of the time you have the car.
Right. There's actually a couple of videos on YouTube from a lot of the RC racing scene, especially the buggies and such, where they kind of pull a little trick where they get some pliers and they gently squeeze the top of the ball or the plastic on rod end on top of the ball to kind of give the indentation of the ball inside to just kind of allow the suspension to move freely. So, things like that, popping them on, putting them on a few times, just to kind of make them move a little bit more freely and fluid will definitely go a long way on the track and or just the enjoyment of the car and how it handles. So keep that in mind as well, guys.
So all the stuff we mentioned for the RDS, you can put on the ready to run. The ready to run is exactly the same as the kit. It just doesn't come with, the kit just doesn't come with electronics. Right. It's the same exact pieces.
Right. Buying the kit isn't going to come with anything extra than the RTR comes with as far as the build, the parts themselves. It is the ready to run minus the electronics like Shane mentioned. So
and you got to build it.
Yeah, you got to build it. Yeah. Exactly. But I enjoyed building it. It was a fun build for me, and being able to choose my electronics and going down a tandem and going based off of what they recommended. I run. They haven't failed me, so everything seems to be running really well. Shane's even helped me add a little bit of boost to my ride because I be boosting. I can say that now. Yep. I'm not door banging, sliding yet, but I hope to be. I hope to be at that level. I kind of get a little bit anxious when I'm on a track. I always feel like I have to go, faster than everyone else. And when it comes to drifting, it's really just chill out, take a deep breath, and just, follow the leader, and try to enjoy the mindless break of just sliding on a track. It really is absolutely therapeutic, to say the least. So, Shane,
the coolest thing about the drift guides is it's just a chill environment. Unless you're at a competition, then it's not as chill. But for just like showing up to a track, everyone's cool. Like if you're slower, they'll either just slow down, because that's actually really important to get used to, is slowing down for other people, or they'll just go around. And so everyone's cool about it. We have a rental at my track that the rental's never being driven by a good driver.
Right.
But it's all, nobody minds.
Right, right.
It's more important to get more people in, so it's more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, we are about 45 minutes in. Just to give you guys a little quick recap, RDS, some parts that we're going to be offering in the near future, upper control arms, lower control arms for the front. What else?
Machined aluminum transmission, super leggera, lightweight. And then
C-hubs for the front, knuckles?
Knuckles for the front, spur gear, lightweight, super leggera piece.
For the rear, for the spur gear
holder.
To be able to mount different variations of spur gears. These things are in the works, guys. We really hope to see them be available, hopefully in the next coming months. Definitely going to try and see if we can get these out before the end of the year, if not even sooner. We'll definitely keep you guys updated as we go. And we look forward to what you guys are going to do with your RDS. So, again, Shane, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to take over and talk about events, unless you want to have your face covered by the banners that always pop up.
I'm good. I will head out.
Enjoy Tandem tonight, and say what's up to everyone for me. So there it is, guys. So that is the Redcat RDS and some of the things that are now currently in the works for the RDS. We went over a lot of information. I know it's a little bit of a longer show, and I appreciate all of you guys that have stuck around throughout the show to kind of get the most out of this episode. If you know someone that owns an RDS and or plans on buying one, refer to them to our page on YouTube, where we have a variety of videos regarding the RDS specifically to kind of help make sure that you get really well acclimated with your car. Now we're going to change gears and go over some of the upcoming events. This is a new segment that I've been adding to the show the last couple months, and as events are happening nearby, be it events that we're sponsoring or events that we appreciate because they're doing cool things that involve Redcat products, this is going to be the section of the show where we just kind of go over those. And some of those, if you've been here a few weeks, may be repetitive, and some of them are new shows that have been added to the list with corrective information because I kind of made a boo-boo last week and gave a wrong date. So let's start with them in order of how they're going to be coming in the next couple weeks and months, right? So we're going to start in the order in which they are going to happen on the calendar. So first and foremost, and you know what, I messed up. I forgot my my list, but I got my backup list here. So I can't see comments right now for a few minutes, guys, as I talk about these because I changed screens. So bear with me. I will come back and look at those here in a few. So first and foremost, let's talk about an event that's going to be happening this coming weekend. It's going to be Eastbay Sliders' second year anniversary, and it's going to happen at Delta RC Hobbies, which is located in Antioch, California. Delta RC is a hobby shop that is located in Antioch, California, where they have a multitude of tracks. Drift tracks, they have an off-road tracks, Nitro Series racing happens, indoor buggy racing. This is really an awesome one-stop shop, Delta RC. If you don't know, you better ask somebody, I'm telling you. This event for Eastbay Sliders is going to happen this Saturday, July 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a large variety of different events going on throughout the day. There's going to be a car show and shine with various categories like Best JDM, Best American, Best Euro, Best Drift Missile, and Best Overall Build. They're going to have a raffle that's going to go on. It is going to cost $20 to participate if you're going to be out there in your own drift car, and it is the track fee. That is the only fee that you will have to pay to participate. Definitely check it out. It's a great event. The guys at Eastbay Sliders are awesome dudes. If you want more information about this event, I went ahead and I put the link in the description of this video. All right. Next up is going to be none other than an event happening in our backyard here in Arizona, which is going to be the Scottsdale Lowrider Super Show. This is an event that last year did not happen. The year before, we did participate in this event and were there in full force. The event will happen in Scottsdale, Arizona at WestWorld. It is going to happen on July 29th, 2023, and it'll go on from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you want more information on this event, the link is in the description of this video for you to be able to buy tickets to the event. I don't know what the lineup is going to be. I don't know who's going to be there as far as who's going to be on stage. But as always, it's a Lowrider Super Show, so it's always bound to be a great time. If you have your RC car and you are out here in Arizona and or coming to the show, swing by the booth. I always love to take pictures of folks in their cars, and I always love sharing them with you guys the following week on the show. All right. The next one up is one that I unfortunately, this one I missed last week actually. So this one's been a new one that was brought to my attention right after last week's show. I really hope we can get some folks out to this one. But this one is the 17th annual Valley Lowriders Picnic. This event is going to happen at Delta Lake Park in I'm going to mess up, Edcouch, Texas. Hope I said that right. And it's going to go down August 6th, 2023, and it's going to go from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's a free event for everyone to attend. I do believe they're going to have a category for RC Lowriders. It's going to be a Monte Carlo that's going to be raffled off as well. If you want more information to this event itself and it's near and dear to you and or maybe close by, something worth checking out if you're into the scene, the link is in the description of this video, so make sure you guys check that bad boy out. All right, next up, man, this one was a shocker to me because now I desperately want to go to this event. Why? Because the homie Jevries is going to be there. That's right. So check it out. This one was shared with me just yesterday, and this is the Atlanta Lowrider Super Show, and none other than Jevries will be in the house attending to hang out with a lot of the RC Lowrider scene that's going to be in place. The event's going to happen at Cobb, Galleria Centro, and it's going to happen in Atlanta, Georgia. August 6th, same date as the previous show, so it'll be August 6th, 2023. Should be a great time. Jerry's is going to be there. A lot of other folks are going to be there. They're talking about setting up a nice lowrider, RC lowrider scene. Check it out. Again, link is in the description for you to check out tickets and attend. I don't know what the fees are, if there are any to attend with an RC lowrider, but definitely check it out and hope to see you guys there. All right. And this one was asked pretty early on, which was the ASD Crawlers 7th Annual Autism Awareness Crawl. This event happens every year in Northern California. This is their third home location that they've had this event. This event is going to happen at Bear River Lake Resort in Pioneer, California, and it's going to go down September 15th and 16th. It's a 2-day event. They're sponsored by Redcat Racing, so we're going to have a Redcat tent there as well. There's going to be some Redcat swag as well as other vehicles from other manufacturers and products that are going to be raffled off. It is a pretty awesome and stout event. There's camping, there's crawling, there's bashing, there's going to be some sled pull competitions, sand drags hosted by RC Drag Talk. It's an event of events. I'm telling you, on average, these folks usually get anywhere from 350 to 450 people in attendance. A lot of people spectate and a lot of people are actually participating. Roughly around 5 to 7 trails will be set up for you guys to crawl day and night. There's going to be a Crawl Masters competition on Friday before on the first day, on Friday, the 15th, you're going to see guys like Harley Designs there. John Schultz from Team Associated is going to be there as well. And we're going to be hosting a Crawl Masters competition. It's an event that I came up with many, many years ago as part of ISD Crawlers. It's a great event. Definitely something worth checking out. It's going to be a team competition. We'll see who's going to be crowned the best in the West. It's going to be a great time, and you don't want to miss it out. All proceeds are donated to two foundations that help adults on the spectrum of autism as well as children on the spectrum of autism. If you're planning on attending, the link is in the description of this video. There's links so that you can check out and get pre-registered as well as buy or order your hoodie and or t-shirt. If you can't attend because you just live too far away, you can always support by either making a monetary donation on their website or just simply buying some of the merchandise that they can ship out to you, such as the hoodies and event t-shirts for this year. Again, if you want more information, check out the link in the description where you will be able to get all the information that you need on that. All right, next up is Pro-Land by the Fire. Pro-Land by the Fire is going to happen at Horseman Center Park in Apple Valley, California. It's going to happen September 22nd through the 23rd. Great event. I've been to it since it started. I believe they're going to be on their 6th or 7th year total. It used to be a G8 Pro-Land competition, and it's turned into Pro-Land by the Fire about maybe 4 years ago, and it's been a great event to be participating in. Lots of trails. Multiple manufacturers are going to be in-house, selling product, displaying product. Sometimes you'll find a manufacturer that's going to leak a product and showcase it there at the event. It's a multi-day event. Camping is something that kind of goes hand in hand. There are hotels nearby that you can stay at. Check it out. You don't want to miss it. If you want more information on the event, as mentioned, check out the link in the description. All right. Last but not least, there's going to be an event, and I talked about this one last week, and this is the one I gave the wrong date on. But this is going to be the Best in the West Super Indoor Custom Car Show. It's going to happen at Ventura Fairgrounds in Ventura, California. It's going to happen on September 24th, and it starts at 11 a.m., and it will go till 5 p.m. This event is being hosted, the sub-event inside of this event is sub-hosted by Team Yonkis and the entire Team Yonkis crew. If you want information, reach out to Team Yonkis SD on Instagram. The link to his bio is in the description of this video. If you have any questions pertaining to this event, it should be an awesome event. They're already gearing up for it. I heard there's folks coming from the Bay Area to Ventura and people from San Diego coming out to Ventura and people all the way from Arizona coming out there. So should be a great turnout. Definitely check them out. Team Yonkis, they always bring the nice swag to the RC Lowrider scene. They're great folks to hang out with. Check them out. You're not going to want to miss this event either. All right, let me double check some of these questions really quick. Tony wants to know, have I seen bears at the ASD events? No, there's never been bears at the events. So you're safe. No need to bring the bear spray. All right. I'm just double checking some of these comments, guys. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Philip Bahia, man, what's going on? All the way from Fairfield, California, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for stopping by. All right, I think that's it. I just want to make sure I'm not missing a question. Tony also wanted to know if we had any more updates on bodies. I don't have any more updates on bodies at this time. There's some murmurs about potentially something shipping out sometime soon, but I'm not going to mention it until I get confirmation to know what exactly it is and whether or not it's legitimate or not. But nonetheless, keep an eye out on things. As soon as I get concrete information, I will definitely share it with you guys on the show. So definitely come on by, come back. Make sure you click that notification bell. If you're still here hanging out with me at 51 minutes and 55, 56, 57 seconds, you're the real MVP. Thank you so very much. From me to all you guys, I'm going to head out. It's been a long day. I hope to see you guys next week with some more information, as well as just to hang out and talk about Redcat RCs. So, you guys stay safe. Keep the rubber side down. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same channel. Until then, peace.